All right. Okay. Let's cut the crap straight off. You know what's completely overwhelming. Just the sheer volume, the absolute flood of information, half of it garbage hitting us every single day, makes you want to switch off,
Oh,
honestly.
totally. And what's really fucked up is how much of it just clashes.
Yeah.
Like, one source says this, the next says the total opposite. How are you supposed to figure out what's actually going on?
Exactly.
Okay.
So for this deep dive, we decided to wade into let's call it the swamp of the Joe Rogan Experience, specifically that chat he had with Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
And our job, basically, is to pull out the most WTF moments, the real head scratchers, and maybe connect a few dots you might have missed.
And the big theme running through it all seems to be this massive skepticism.
Yeah.
Like just fundamentally questioning the mainstream story, the official narratives, the systems we're told are working.
Oh, yeah. They went deep down the rabbit hole. Covered everything from, like, nicotine pouches to California being run by asshats, apparently. Government waste, Epstein, vaccines, obviously, cancer treatments, media bias, you name it. It's a trip.
So starting with nicotine seemed like an odd place to begin.
Kinda, yeah. But they talked about nicotine pouches being better than smoking, which, sounds vaguely like those bullshit ads from the 50s with doctor smoking.
Yeah, a bit. And they touched on that old rumor, right? About fiberglass in dip.
Oh, yeah. Rogan and Rodgers were just like, nah, that's bullshit. Dismissed it completely.
Okay.
And then a quick jab at California for banning flavored products. Predictable, I guess?
Sets the tone, though. Starting small, questioning the little things before getting to the bigger targets, like government spending.
Oh, God, yeah. The cynicism there was thick. They brought up examples, supposedly real ones, like studies on transgender animals, and giving cocaine to dogs for research.
Seriously, that sounds like satire.
Right, but they presented it as fact. And just the general pissed off feeling about billions being spent with, quote, no receipts, just vanished.
And the Epstein stuff still lingers in these conversations. That feeling that powerful people are just protected, untouchable.
Definitely taps into that frustration, that lack of accountability at the top. But then, okay, the vaccine stuff, that was a huge chunk of it.
A really controversial part.
Yeah. They threw out some massive numbers, claiming, based on some MIT and Florida health study apparently, that Pfizer's mRNA shots might be linked to like 470,000 to 670,000 deaths in the U.S.
Whoa, okay, that's a hell of a claim. And they cited specific sources for that.
They mentioned MIT and Florida Health, yeah. Then talked about higher all-cause mortality in Pfizer recipients compared to Moderna. And this SV40 thing.
It's a potential contaminant.
SV40, yeah, that pops up in an alternative circle, this supposed link to cancer.
Exactly. And they were really skeptical, like deeply skeptical of the whole vaccine saved millions narrative, just not buying it.
So challenging the core public health message head on.
Totally. Plus, a fertility study showing lower conception rates in vaccinated women. The label conspiracy theorists being, undefeated. Right. If you question it, you get the label.
Biden's saline shot comment got a look in. And the whole not aspirating the needle thing, apparently a big deal for them.
The idea being it could go into a blood vessel instead of the muscle.
Something like that, yeah. Then spike proteins sticking around longer than expected, coroners finding weird blood clots, spooky anecdotes, I guess.
It all feeds into a narrative of distrust, focusing on outlier data or interpretations.
And comparing it to the flu shot, like why wasn't that pushed as hard, the sort of lemming effect of everyone just going along with the COVID shots?
And ivermectin came up too.
Oh, absolutely. How it got demonized, in their view, even though, according to them, it might have worked, Big Pharma burying it.
That's a common thread in these discussions.
Yeah, and distrust of doctors, too, especially regarding cancer. Downplaying diet, pushing chemo because, well, money, financial incentive.
The profit motive over patient health argument?
Pretty much. The keto diet debate, manipulated science. Oh, and get this, the Latin meaning of AstraZeneca. Apparently it's, I don't care about life.
Seriously, is that even true?
Who the hell knows? But they said it. You can't make this shit up. It paints this picture of, like, hidden agendas everywhere.
Right, leading into the bigger picture stuff.
Yeah, the mega corporation idea. Vanguard, State Street, BlackRock owning everything.
A troll.
The concentration of power.
Exactly. Talk about COVID booster recommendations for kids maybe being quietly pulled back. Financial crises, not accidents, planned maybe, and nobody gets punished.
Zero accountability again.
Gain-of-function research, Fauci maybe lying to Congress, and that weird story about the water car inventor, Stanley Myers, died suddenly of an aneurysm. super suspicious according to them. It all weaves together into this narrative of, well, a rigged game, an illusion of freedom where questioning certain things, vaccines, cancer treatment, is just not allowed.
So after wading through all that, the question for you, listening, is kind of stark, isn't it? Who the actual fuck do you believe anymore?
Yeah.
Which experts are expert? What truth is true? When it feels like, according to narratives like this one, there's always some hidden angle, some bullshit motive.
Definitely something to chew on. What even is truth in this absolute mess of information? Good luck figuring that out.